Femi, it shall not be well with you. If it better for you, make I know why. Now, let me tell you about Femi Adeyemi before I tell you what he did to me. Because if I start to talk, if I open my mouth and talk about what Femi did to me, if I start with the betrayal talk, you will not understand completely how this man fooled me. We met in 2012 in a mutual friend's housewarming in DC. I was 28 and he was 38. I was already established. I had a good job. I owned my own apartment. No financial drama at all. I wasn't looking for a man to complete me. I was just looking for a partner. Femi courted me properly. He met with my parents. He even sat with my father for hours. Jesus. When he proposed to me in 2014, my mother was very happy. My father was very happy. My mother even called him a blessing. Before we got married, we had serious conversations. Conversations that every serious partner will have. We talked about children, our finances, basically our future in general. I wanted children. 3 or 4 children. Family means everything to me. And I let him know that. Femi said he wanted children too. He said he wanted 3 children. And that we will start having kids as soon as we are done with our wedding. It seemed like we were perfect together. So we agreed on that. But what I did not know, what I did not discover until it almost destroyed me is that Femi had quietly walked into a private clinic in Silver Spring, Maryland, and had a vasectomy.
No!
Yes, he had a vasectomy. And not just that, he did something else.
Jesus.
Something I will never find out until after 10 years.
My God.
He had a wife in Lagos.
What?
Registered in court, legally and binded. And he came to America, buried both of those facts, smiled at my father, said I do, and meant absolutely none of it. I was not his wife. I was just his American arrangement.
Woo! I was not his wife. I was just his American arrangement. Girls, I keep telling y'all. Do not marry these men. Okay. So this is one of our Nigerian sisters, and she had her Nigerian husband deported back to Nigeria where he belonged, girl. Where he belonged. I keep telling y'all, do not marry these men who do not have their legal status. Them no love or no. Them love no ability to give them a green card. Don't marry these men. And obviously her parents, I don't know if they're born again believers or not, because the mama said it's a blessing. No, boo-boo, it was a curse. A curse. Woo, go ahead, girl. Let's tell the rest of the story. Hey, cousins, I miss y'all this weekend. Check out those videos I did. Y'all not going to believe what happened to me this weekend, girl. You're not going to believe what happened to me. I did the video this morning, and then I did another video talking about the other old woman marrying some 30-year-old man or 40-year-old, and he used her for a visa. Child. Anyways, girl, the husband profile is coming up in September. Sign up. I will teach you how not to marry these men. Thank you for those of you showing me love and support on my books. If you're new here, hey, cousin, my name is Janice. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share this out for me. I love you. I adore it. Let's listen to the rest of the story, girl. This is juicy. Go ahead, girl. Girl, what's you say his name was again? Femi.
And I will spend 10 years of my life not knowing this. And you think it will be well with you. Femi Adeyemi, it shall never be well with you. This is a true life story. It is not mine, but she gave me permission to share it. And I will tell it in her voice, because that's the only way I do justice to it. So you can feel the pain she has continued to live with up until today.
Amen. Okay, so just right off the bat, I did listen to it again. So this is my second time listening to it. The thing is, you don't, in the United States, you don't try to have no baby for no 10 years. If you're under 35, you try a year without medical intervention. After a year, the doctors step in. So I'm interested to find out why did the doctor allow her to try for 10 years with no medical intervention? No, they step in, they test, they see, okay, maybe your things are clogged, or maybe his soldiers are not marching or something. So this is interesting. Okay, girl, go ahead and tell this story. Okay, girl, I don't want no copyright strike. Go ahead and say what you got to say, sis. Okay, yeah, part 2.
8 months into our marriage, we started trying for a child, or at least I thought we were trying. Months after months, nothing was happening. I keep telling myself it's normal. Bodies are different. Some bodies take more time than the others. And then I started tracking my monthly cycle obsessively. I changed my diet. I stopped drinking entirely. I did everything right. I started taking prenatal vitamins as well. After a whole year, nothing was happening still. I went back to my OBGYN and she ran a couple of tests and the results came back normal. My OBGYN said, try another 6 months and then come back if nothing happens. But this time, come back with your husband. And I told Femi,
woo! Come on, come back with your husband. That's exactly what my doctor said to me when we was trying for our baby number 2. Bring your husband. Let's test it. Let's see what's happening. Go ahead, sister.
He just turned around, nodded his head and said nothing else. And that was it. Before you know it, another 6 months passed and nothing still. I cried in grocery stores parking lots. I hid so many pregnancy test kits under my car seat so Femi wouldn't see how many I was buying. And yet every month, the test result comes out negative. And then I finally started pushing Femi to go to the doctor with me. But he resisted. He would look at me and said, there is nothing wrong with me. He kept telling me there was nothing wrong with him and that I was stressing myself for nothing. And that stress affects fertility as well. But this time, I wasn't backing down. I wasn't going to take no for an answer. I pushed harder until he agreed to semen analysis. And guess what? The test result came back 0 sperm. 0 sperm count, you guys. 0 sperm count. And the doctor said it might be a poor sample. And then he should come back next time to try again. And he thanked the doctor, got up and walked away. I walked behind him while we were walking to the car. He seemed so unbothered. And I was like, my husband just found out that he has 0 sperm count. And he seemed not to care. He seemed so unbothered. I should have listened to what that calmness was telling me. I should have listened, but I didn't. And I blamed myself for the next 10 years. And at some point, I was so confused. I didn't know what else to do. So I went ahead and signed up for IVF. And he didn't complain. He didn't try to stop me. He will watch me run towards a wall that he already built. And then he will watch me hit it over and over again. And he will say nothing. IVF is not a simple thing. It takes tons of poking yourself with needle on your stomach every morning. It takes a lot of money. It is not a simple procedure. And this man went with me to every appointment. He drove me to every appointment, held my hand in the waiting room, looked at me with this patient, gentle expression that I thought it was love at the time. And I'm now just finding out that it was never love. Nah, it wasn't love. It was management. It was him keeping me calm, keeping me in the marriage, and keeping me from asking the right questions. On the second round of the IVF, I had a very...
I got a problem. How you doing IVFs and there's no live sperm? Huh? You have to, something has to be there. If everything is dead, there is no IVF. Something has to be alive. Help me out in the comments. Help me out in the comments. If the doctor's gonna do IVF, there has to be 1 or 2 live sperm for them to make the baby, right, cousins? Right? Tell me in the comments. All my medical experts, tell me in the comments. Okay, go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Oh, this is some juicy story, girl.
A bad reaction from the hormone injection. I was bedridden for 4 days. I was so bloated. I was feverish. I was in real pain. When I say pain, in real pain. And I remember Femi would bring me soup, sit beside me on the bed, and watch me eat it. And I was thinking to myself, oh, this man loves me. I was wrong. 3 rounds of IVF. 3 failures, 31 negative pregnancy tests across my 4 years of trying, 31. After the 3rd round of the IVF failed, my doctor called us and sat us down, and she said she needed a more thorough analysis of Femi's sperm. 8 months into our marriage.
Okay, right. But wait a minute. How are they doing IVF with dead sperm? I don't understand. Isn't there has to be some kind of live sperm? If it's 0, if the sperm count is 0, how is they doing IVF, cousins? Help me out. You know I didn't go to medical school, girl. I didn't go to medical school. Help me out. Okay, girl. Ooh, this is so juicy, girl. Come on.
After the 3rd round of the IVF failed, my doctor called us and sat us down, and she said she needed a more thorough analysis of Femi's sperm. Right. She specifically said the word vasectomy. She said she wanted to test for it and rule that out. Do you know that Femi sat there with a straight face and did not move at all? And then he turned to the doctor and said, that's not possible. I've never had a procedure with a very straight face. The doctor scheduled a follow-up appointment for us twice, and Femi cancelled it twice. I rescheduled and he cancelled it again. And at this point, I had to rebook another appointment for myself because he obviously do not want to go. And on that day, my car was bad and I needed to order a ride. And Femi has been the one ordering ride for us. I do not have the Uber app in my phone. So I picked up his phone to book the ride myself.
Ma'am, if you're going to tell people a story, you got to make sure your environments are. What is that fire hydrant thing going on in the background? Don't you hear it? How could you live with that? Change the battery. My gosh, so ghetto.
And guess what popped up on his phone? His calendar. And on that day, on Wednesday, 2013, everything started unraveling. Everything. And then I decided to scroll down his call log from that week. And there was this specific number that stood out. He had called that number 3 times every day before that Wednesday. So I took the number and then went inside our bathroom, locked the door, sat down inside there and put that number on Google. When I put that number on Google, you guys, guess what popped up? It was a men's health vasectomy clinic.
Jesus!
Popped up on my phone.
Jesus.
I was shocked. I was beyond shocked.
My God.
I sat down on the cold towels in the bathroom and I stopped breathing for a few seconds. And when I say I stopped breathing, I'm not joking. I stopped breathing for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then the next morning I confronted him. I showed him the clinic number. He looked at the phone number. And then he turned around and looked at me. The expression on his face, the expression on his face, I don't know how to describe it. It was not guilt at all. It was not panic. It was something quieter and more devastating than both of them. That expression was more like a relief, like a man who has been holding his breath for years and he's finally allowed to exhale. And he turned to me and said, I am sorry, I was going to tell you. And I asked him, when? When were you going to tell me? All this while you were driving me around to hospital back and forth and you knew what you did. When were you going to tell me? Femi, you watched me do 3 IVFs. You watched me inject myself every single morning. And you would think he's sorry. But guess what? He turned around and said, well, the IVF wasn't going to work anyway. And I told him, yes, of course, it wasn't going to work because of you. And you knew it. And you sat down in those waiting rooms every single time, knowing what you did. He did not deny it.
Jesus.
He did not even as much as try to deny it at all. He just sat on the kitchen table staring at me. He didn't deny it. And guess what? I haven't even found out the worst yet.
Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Lord. She haven't found out the worst thing yet, ladies and gentlemen. Huh? Can you imagine? What an evil man. What an evil man. Well, she ain't said nothing about being a believer, so I would ask, didn't the Holy Spirit tell you or speak to you? Or
after the vasectomy confession, Femi asked me to sit down, that he wanted to explain to me. A part of me wanted to walk out, but that part of me that had loved him for 10 years needed to understand. I needed closure. And so I sat down, and he told me about a woman before me, a relationship he had.
But she, how you got to 10 years, girl? You be skipping the story. How we get to 10 years? How we get to 10 years? You skipping some years.
20s. How she got pregnant for him. And he wanted her to terminate it, but she refused and had that child anyway, and then used the child to tie him down financially. And he became financially and emotionally tied for years. And now it turns out he had a son. A teenage son that I have never been told of for years. Never. A son I never knew existed. His name is Dayo. He was 16 years old and lived 2 hours away in Woodridge, Virginia.
What?
And Femi had been visiting him monthly, attending all his football games, and even paying his school fees. Being the warm, present father to Dayo that he had chemically prevented himself from ever being to my children. He said his experience with Dayo's mother had broken something in him, and that the vasectomy was a guarantee that no woman would ever use pregnancy against it again. And then he turned to me and said, in a very low tone, I knew you wanted children, but maybe we can adopt. What about adoption? And I said to him, yes, you knew. And you let me think my body was broken for years.
Jesus.
You sat in the doctor's office every time and watched them run tests on me. You watched me bleed and cry, and yet you said nothing. And then he said in a very shaky voice, I didn't know how to tell you. I just didn't know how to tell you. You had a secret vasectomy. You had a secret son. And apparently, a very rehearsed explanation. And still, you didn't know how to tell me in 10 years. He had nothing else to say at that point. But here is the thing about peeling back a man's lies. Each layer you remove reveals another one underneath. I didn't know yet, but guess what? Ronke, Dayo's mother, was about to hand me a shovel.
Woo!
A shovel she has been waiting 10 years to use. After the vasectomy confession, Femi asked me to sit down that he wanted to explain to me.
There is no explanation. Ooh, child, talk about evil. Evil. Huh? Talk about evil. Because this is messy and juicy all at the same time.
I had my husband deported back to Nigeria where he belongs, and this is why. So after my husband confessed to me that he has a secret son from a secret relationship from a woman called Ronke in this same United States, and for 10 years of our marriage, I didn't know about it. I took the woman's name and I searched for her on Facebook. Luckily, she was on Facebook. I left her a message on Facebook, and after 1 hour, she replied, and it was as if she has been waiting for this day to come. So after she replied me on Facebook, we exchanged numbers and then we started talking on the phone. And that's when she revealed more information to me. During the 10 years of our marriage, Femi had introduced his sister to me, called Blessing, who lives in Nigeria. And she will call me most times. I call her too. I mean, she's my sister-in-law. I will send her money from time to time, especially during festive period. Most Christmas, I send her money. And here is the part that will shock you the most.
Girl.
I'm just finding out from Ronke that this Blessing is not Femi's sister.
What?
It is Femi's wife, his legal wife in Nigeria. He married her in church and both in...
Jesus followed. That the spirit followed. Huh? Can you imagine? Girl, he had a whole wife.
Court. They got married 5 years before Femi married me. So now I had just found out that I am just his American arrangement to adjust his immigration status in America. And so I didn't confront him immediately. I needed to take my time and gather all the paperwork, all the evidence I needed to report him to the immigration. And so I hired an attorney in Nigeria to help me get all the necessary documents, all the court marriage papers that I need to be able to file a report against it. 3 months after that, the attorney contacted me. She said she had every document ready, and I went ahead and I filed the report to immigration. And so he came home one evening, and 2 things were waiting for him. One, the
Wait a minute.
Immigration investigation.
Wait a minute. Girl, that's...
And so he came home one evening, and 2 things were waiting for him. One, the immigration investigation notice was waiting for him on the kitchen counter. Number 2, me sitting across the table waiting for him. He picked up the notice, opened it and read it, and then sat it down on the table. He turned around and looked at me with an expression I have never seen on his face. For 10 years we have been married. He gently sat down like something had been removed from his legs. And I told him, you called that woman your sister. For 10 years, you called her your sister, Femi. For 10 years, I have sent her Christmas money. For 10 years, I have prayed for her on the phone. While all this while, she was your wife, married in 2009. In court, he tried everything he could that night, crying, begging. He offered me money. He even offered me vasectomy reversal. He said it was okay, that we can now have kids. I told him, the investigation is already open, Femi. There's nothing I can do for you at this point. I mean, your own paperwork is talking for you. Few months later, he was placed in immigration detention center. And 4 months after that, his green card was revoked. He filed in for appeal, and his appeal was denied. And 14 months later, Femi Adeyemi was deported back to Nigeria, where he belongs. And I was in my kitchen sipping tea. My phone was off. There was nothing left for me to witness. I had...
Woo! You go, girl. Yeah! Congratulations. She's a cousin. Let me email my guy to make me a t-shirt. She's a cousin. She is definitely a cousin. She's been listening to my videos and read my books. Yes, girls. That's how you do it. No, that's not how you do it, girl. That's not how you do it. In the beginning. That's how you do it in the end, but that's not how you do it in the beginning. Ooh, okay, cousin, that's 3 videos today to make up for me not doing videos all week or 1 video a week. So, a day. I love you. 2 or 3 times the guys you mind me, girls. Don't marry these men who don't have their legal status. I keep telling y'all, it will never work out for your good, okay? I know they misuse that scripture, but that's not. So the husband profile begins in September. If you want to take it, the link's below. subscribe and send me an email if you want to take the course. I could add you to my list. Okay. I'll be giving a sample out for those of you who might want to take the class. Okay, I'm working on the sample. Well, my TA is working on the sample. Thank you for those of you showing me love on my books. They're all available on Amazon. I absolutely love you, my darlings. I adore you. I will talk with you later. Let me know what you think about this story. Congrats to her. Congrats, 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 congrats to her. She is definitely a cool. I love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.